Football League, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Texans and the Ravens, next on Madden Football.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, it's the opener of the 2023 NFL season, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Well, CD, new season is here. Lions and Chiefs got it going on Thursday night. You and I were there. What a scene that was. But now here we are a few days later on Sunday, looking at two teams with great expectations here to begin 2023.
It's always fun to get a new season started, isn't it, partner? Because everyone feels like they've got a shot at the defending champs. They think that they can be the new champs. And here we are getting things going. Let's have some fun.
A new season of NFL football is here, and we're off in 2023 on EA Sports. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the second overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
In only 2 seasons, Stroud showed all he needed to at Ohio State. All-American, Heisman finalist, program records galore. He looked every bit like the #1 overall pick. He went #2, but Houston is thrilled to have him.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Well, look now at the 2023 draft class for the Texans. And people still talking about the move they made, trading up in the first round, becoming the 3rd team ever to make 2 of the draft's first 3 selections.
And what a bold move they made, considering what they gave up. But for a team rebuilding like the Texans, I think that was a move they felt like they had to make. Got the quarterback C.J. Stroud, pass rusher Will Anderson Jr. They're going to be the faces of the Houston franchise going forward.
Oh, man, coming off a great rookie year, it's Dameon Pierce. Fights through and now a crease. Touchdown, Houston. Dameon Pierce, 56 yards. And the Texans are on the board here first in the season opener. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Dameon Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
All the talk of Jackson leaving the Ravens this offseason was just that, talk, as the two sides hammered out a deal that made him the highest paid player in the NFL. And why would they want to separate? When he has the ball in his hands, great things typically happen.
Jackson on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Jackson. He finds the rookie, Zay Flowers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Jackson, options out left. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the option right is Jackson. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Finds his man over the middle. It's likely. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. Jackson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Desmond King picks him, and the Texans are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. I like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you.
More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 72 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Well, just the last thing you want to see here in the first quarter of a new season. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll step aside for a moment. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, today, of course, not just the start of the new campaign. It's the debut of DeMeco Ryans as the Houston head coach. Now, we saw him plenty with the 49ers, what he was able to do with that defense. Charles, what do you think he brings to the table for these Texans?
He brings football intelligence. He brings enthusiasm. He brings creativity. This guy wanted to be the head coach of the Houston Texans, twice a Pro Bowler with them in the NFL. He's come home. Now he wants to finish what he started as a player as a head coach.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Play action. Stroud now. They'll roll him out right. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Pierce. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Dameon Pierce, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes. And we got a few for 2023. A lot are procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But two kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't. I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different. And I really wanted the special teams coach to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
What about, this is the other one, guys can now wear the number 0. We've already seen some make the switch. Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift, Braxton Berrios, amongst others.
Yeah, and you know something? When you see those guys make that move, I don't mind that at all right? A little more expressionism for these guys. I love it. I just think we didn't go far enough. What about 00, like Jim Otto used to wear or Kenny Burrow used to wear? Let's add that back to the NFL jerseys.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. Down to about the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Likely makes the play in a couple of big games, highlighted his rookie season in 2022. He looks like a future starter at tight end and could easily see his workload grow considerably in year 2.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Throw out wide is incomplete. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. Here's 2nd and 10. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 14. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Tyler Huntley taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Ravens have cut it back within a score. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field, and of course for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right out.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Offense back out there along with Dameon Pierce. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the second time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. And you know where I'm
fantasy.
going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
You talk about fantasy a lot, but you don't. Why don't you just play?
I'm not good enough to play the fantasy game. I enjoy watching
you do it. You're an analyst. You're an expert.
I mean, you were a champ last year. Keep it up.
5th place.
Okay. Well, that's a champ in my book.
Escaping the pressure right. He's got a man. Complete. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on. There is a flag down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. And now here come the Ravens. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Now Jackson on 2nd down. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
On 3rd down, here's Edwards. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston offense running back out, and we'll get another look at John Mechie. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they approach this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Stroud on 3rd down now. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the 1st half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
4th down, here's Stroud. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Tucker's kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So not the greatest of first halves for him, but a little ray of light here at the end. The late turnover becomes 3 points before the break.
Well, they certainly needed something positive to go their way. Maybe 3 points doesn't seem like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, but at least it's something to build on as they head into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And that one just before halftime with the Jaguars out on top. Christian Kirk, a touchdown reception. From there, it's off to the land to check on the Browns at home in the dog pound. And they trail in their ball game at halftime to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Mixon, a couple of touchdown runs. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou to check on the Saints at home at the Caesar Superdome. And that one all tied. We saw Dameon Pierce put together a strong performance in that first half. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after their first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week one, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting more pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins, and only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Boy, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week one. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. Now it's Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Denzel Perryman with a sack. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Back to throw. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
This will be fielded at the 17. A good head-down running on the return, gets about 15 yards. And the Texans will take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And the defense closes quickly there. They'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. but that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard. That will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball gets super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise. And it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Here's Cameron Johnston now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Oh, look at the juke. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Ravens, they'll take over. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do Dobbins hit, and he fumbles. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them pass it.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Jackson options out left. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Award that tackle for loss to the linebacker, Denzel Perryman.
At the 37-yard line.
To throw is Jackson. A short one there, caught by Likely. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Jackson. That is caught. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Jackson now. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
I like his awareness in the pocket there. Nowhere to go with the football. So instead of forcing it to the sideline, he's just going to put this one into the harbor and live to fight another down without getting wet.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, 2nd half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Will Anderson, that is one that he will remember. His first career sack in his first career game in the National Football League. Tucker's kick is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Phillips now from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. And now out comes Houston. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
On 3rd down, here's Pierce. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 106 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he'll get this up to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
23 yards the pickup there.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Pierce now up the middle. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. And the ball on the 30, here's 2nd and 4. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he is going to have a Texans first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Yeah, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Every yard they gain, getting them better and better field position. And obviously, a field goal makes this a 2-score contest. That's really all they need.
And that means for your play caller, he's not looking to the attack portion of his sheet, right? He's looking for, okay, what do we have that's going to keep us in a good spot? No lost yardage plays. Let's kick a field goal and go up 2 scores. If we score a touchdown, great. But that's not what you're really playing for.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dameon Pierce with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Texans are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then 1 play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 15. 1:56 to go. They need 2 touchdowns and at least 1 2-point conversion mixed in there as well. Jackson, Dobbins with it. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Now 2nd down and a few inches.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Steven Nelson.
And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers. Unfortunately, it was picked off.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Going for it with Pierce. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down, and that is the big one, as they should be able to run it out from here. Another carry for Pierce.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. And they will take a knee here. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down. Defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know, it's really strange. I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like 1 time a week. The best teams I know, they practice starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. And his kick is right there. It's good.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
On the return, Devin Duvernay.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Devin Duvernay.
And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Ravens. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for Houston, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.